So we go from one team to another team that has a bunch of hardships the last couple seasons. This team, the one and only Cincinnati Bengals. And Bengals fans, let's talk about your man, the myth, the legend, Trey Hendrickson. Because right now, on paper, you guys got some great news. You got some great news. Trey Hendrickson is back on the roster. Trey Hendrickson just got a $14 million pay raise. Sounds solid, right? Sounds great, right? Everything is peachy in Cleveland or Cincinnati, right? Wrong. Guys, when you stack it up against what the best pass rushers in NFL are making right now, this is a complete hush money slap in the face. Say, Trey, shut your mouth and get to work, boy. Guys, let's break it down. Because Trey Hendrickson has been the guy, the man, the myth, and legend on this Cincinnati Bengals defense since 2021. 3 straight years of double-digit sacks. Matter of fact, he consistently disrupts 17.5 sacks year after year, it seems like, right? He has the energy that fuels the Bengals pass rush. Without him, those AFC championship runs don't happen. Them potentially making the playoffs last season doesn't matter. He's not a role player. He is elite. He's an elite edge rusher, and don't just set the tone. They got to pay to do that. Excuse me. So, guys, what did the Bengals have to do here, right? What did the Bengals do? They handed Trey a $14 million pay raise. Sounds big until you see it in context. Trey was only getting paid about $13 million this season. Now he's on track to make about $29 million this season. It's still nowhere close to where his market value for that position is. Nick Bosa is pulling around $34 million a year. Myles Garrett pulling around $40 million a season. Matt Crosby pulling another $35 million a season. And Trey, this so-called raise, $19, $20 million a season, that's almost half of what Nick Bosa is making. And remember, Trey has put up the production of those rivals, of those he has put those numbers to shame of Nick and Max and all those other guys. He's just not in the conversation. He is the conversation. He's a top-tier guy. So the message here that the Bengals are saying, we'll give you a little bump just to keep you happy, but you're not worth top-tier money. That is a slap in the face to Trey Hendrickson. That is a fast slap in the face to the Cincinnati Bengals fan base. That is a slap in the face to the Cincinnati Bengals team in general. Guys, Trey Hendrickson has outperformed his deal, and instead of putting him in the line with the elite, they pacified him with the mid-tier raise. Other teams would have thrown the bag at him without a hesitation, right? And yes, I understand the Bengals are bouncing out Joe Burrow's $55 million contract. They're bouncing out Jamar Chase mega contract extension in the Higgins situation. Like, I get it. The money is tight, but here's also the problem. When you shortchange the guys that have been one of the most consistent stars on your team, it sends a message to the whole locker room. This is what you're telling the players. Basically, in a roundabout say, we'll pay you, just not what you're worth. That's dangerous for team chemistry and future free agents. So, guys, this raise that Trey Hendrickson got is a slap in the face. Yes, I understand Trey is richer today than he was yesterday, but compared to his peers, he is widely underpaid. You don't keep a Super Bowl window open by disrespecting a guy that's anchoring your pass rush. The Bengals are trying to save a few bucks now, but it could cost them big in the future if Trey decides he's had enough. But I want to know your guys' thoughts. Did the Bengals actually help the Trey Hendrickson situation by this $14 million raise? Or did they just insult him by keeping him far below what his peers like Bosa, Garrett, and Crosby are getting paid? Guys, drop your comments down below. This is a live, interactive show. I want to hear from you. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/manhour. So let's chop it up down in the comments down below. Old member says, put the bong down. I don't do no drugs, man. Drugs are bad for you. But we're talking about the Commanders there, I guess, right? Old Man River says the Bengals are 6-11, no defense, offense scores 40, they give up 45. Now, this is where I do agree with you, Old Man River. Now, obviously, Trey Hendrickson was on that historically bad defense last season. For the first 7, 8, 9 games of the year, they were horrendous. They were giving up 40, 46, 42, 37 points week after week after week. Now, the last 6-7 weeks of the season, they buckled down and they were top 12, top 11 team defense in the NFL. With that being said, I understand where the Bengals are coming from. I understand they're like, hey, we need Trey Hendrickson on the field. If we can just give him $14 million to shut up and just play, here it is. On the other hand, the Bengals have so many holes to fill on that defense. Why does not trade Trey Hendrickson now? Get value out of him now. I don't wish injury on anybody, but what if Trey Hendrickson has a down year? What if Trey gets hurt? What if Trey says, you know what? I want to retire from the NFL. All of a sudden, those couple first-round picks that you could have gotten for Trey Hendrickson this season becomes a fourth-round pick, becomes a contentious pick, right? All that money and draft capital you could have got from this man, poof, out the window. Now, let's say he outperforms this year. Let's say he balls out this year. Let's say he plays 17 and a half, 18 sacks again this season. He's going to want more money. Yes, technically he becomes a free agent next year, Alpha Rob. Technically, yes. But you know what the Bengals can do? This man's going to be 32 years old. They can franchise tag him. They can give him the, I believe it's the average of the top 5 salaries as a defensive end. Yes, it's going to be 32, 33-ish million dollars, right? You franchise tag him. He can't get traded. I mean, he could get traded, but he has to play. If he doesn't play, he just retires. It's like, oh, I'll just retire for a year and then come back. No, the Bengals own the rights for you till you fulfill that franchise tag. They can franchise tag him twice. And then at that point, he's going to be 34, 35 years old. Who wants an aging defensive end besides the Buffalo Bills, right? Von Miller, Alpha Rob. But it is what it is. The Bengals only pay offensive guys big money, says Alpha Rob. That's what history shows, yes. That's what history shows. I think in the Cincinnati Bengals' minds, they say sex sells. And what is sexy? Joe Burrow putting up 45 points. Jamar Chase winning the triple crown. T. Higgins being like the best number 2 receiver in the NFL. That's sexy. That sells. But you know what sells even more than high flashy scores? 45 points a game, triple crown winners. You know what sells even more, Alpha Rob? Winning football games. Winning football games is sexier than 45 points. Ask the Kansas City Chiefs that. Ask the Kansas City Chiefs fan base that. Yes, a lot of people are stuck in the 2018 mindset of Patrick Mahomes putting up 5,500 yards and scoring 40 points per game, yada, yada, yada. Once they dialed that back just a little bit, championships, and now we got Tay-Tay. You know why? We put money into the defense. Steve Spagnuolo is a great defensive coordinator. Chris Jones got paid. Now, I wish we'd have paid some other players, but you know what? It is what it is, a.k.a. Jadarius Sneed. But hey, whatever. The Bengals need to change their mindset, just like the Pittsburgh Steelers need to change their mindset. Mediocre is just not always good anymore. It's time to win. It is time to win. Old Man River says Henderson 6 sacks all year and he'll be double teamed. I disagree with that. I disagree with that because of the draft that they had. The one thing the Bengals did well this offseason, Old Man River, Alpha Rob, Shea, the rest of the people that are watching today, is that they drafted defense. They went on the defense attack and they drafted Shamir Stewart. Shamir Stewart is the replacement for Trey Hendrickson. Let's just be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. He was brought there to replace Trey Hendrickson. Not this year, maybe not the next year after that, but at some point he was there to replace him. If you double team Trey Hendrickson, Shamir Stewart is going to go off. That is a man right there. That is a man's man. And once Shamir Stewart starts to go off, we're going to have to shift the coverage at him. then Trey is going to go off. It is what it is. And if they were going to double team Trey Hendrickson, they would have done it last year and he would have got 17.5 sacks. They would have done the year before that when he got 17.5 sacks. Let's just face it. He is the man. Trey Hendrickson cannot be stopped. Max Crosby can be stopped. Nick Bosa can be stopped. Micah Parsons can be stopped. TJ Watt can be stopped. Trey Hendrickson cannot. Cannot. He is a man's man. He's a bad, bad man. But I'm curious, guys. Where do you guys think the Bengals will end up in 2025? Are they a playoff team? Are they a divisional championship team? Do they still have a Super Bowl window open in Cincinnati? These are all questions that we're looking for answers for, and we're going to come clear here in about 8 days when the NFL season does start.